God spoke to Moses, and he said to him, I am Hashem. I appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as El Sadadi, but with my name Hashem I did not make myself known to them. Moreover, I established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their sojourning, in which they sojourned. Moreover, I have heard the groan of the children of Israel, whom Egypt enslaves, and I have remembered my covenant. Therefore, say to the children of Israel, I am Hashem, and I shall take you out from under the burdens of Egypt. I shall rescue you from their service. I shall redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great judgments. I shall take you to me for a people, and I shall be a God to you. And you shall know that I am Hashem your God, who takes you out from under the burdens of Egypt. I shall bring you to the land which I raised my hand to give it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I shall give it to you as a heritage. I am Hashem. So Moses spoke accordingly to the children of Israel, but they did not heed Moses because of shortness of breath and hard work. Hashem spoke to Moses, saying, Come speak to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, that he send the children of Israel from his land. Moses spoke before Hashem, saying, Behold, the children of Israel have not listened to me. So how will Pharaoh listen to me? And I have sealed lips. Hashem spoke to Moses and Aaron and commanded them regarding the children of Israel and regarding Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to take the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. These were the heads of their fathers' houses, the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, Hanoch and Palu, Herzon and Carmi. These were the families of Reuben. The sons of Simon, Jemul, Jamim, Ohad, Jachin, and Zohar, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanite woman. These were the families of Simon. These are the names of the sons of Levi in order of their birth, Gershon, Konath, and Merari. The years of Levi's life were 137 years. The sons of Gershon, Levini, and Shimi, according to their families. The sons of Kohath, Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The years of Kohath's life were 133 years. The sons of Merari, Mahil, and Mushi. These were the Levite families in order of their birth. Amram took his aunt Jochebed as a wife, and she bore him Aaron and Moses. The years of Amri's life were 137 years. The sons of Ishah, Korah, Nephig, and Zichri. The sons of Eziel, Mishal, Elphath, and Sitri. Aaron took Elizabeth, daughter of Amminadab, sister of Nashon, as a wife, and she bore him Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. The sons of Korah, Asir, Elkanah, and Abisah. These were the Korahite families. Eleazar, son of Aaron, took for himself from the daughters of Putil as a wife, and she bore to him Phinehas. These were the leaders of the fathers of the Levites according to their families. This was the Aaron and Moses to whom Hashem said, Take the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt according to their legions. They were the ones who spoke to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to take the children of Israel out of Egypt. This was Moses and Aaron. It was on the day when Hashem spoke to Moses in the land of Egypt. Hashem spoke to Moses, saying, I am Hashem. Speak to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, everything that I speak to you. Moses said before Hashem, Behold, I have sealed lips, so how shall Pharaoh heed me? Hashem said to Moses, See, I have made you a master over Pharaoh, and Aaron, your brother, shall be your spokesman. You shall speak everything that I command you, and Aaron, your brother, shall speak to Pharaoh, that he should send the children of Israel from his land. But I shall harden Pharaoh's heart, and I shall multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. Pharaoh will not heed you, and I shall put my hand upon Egypt, and I shall take out my legions, my people, the children of Israel from the land of Egypt with great judgments. And Egypt shall know that I am Hashem when I stretch out my hand over Egypt, and I shall take the children of Israel out from among them. Moses and Aaron did as Hashem commanded them, so they did. Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron was 83 years old when they spoke to Pharaoh. Hashem said to Moses and Aaron, saying, When Pharaoh speaks to you, saying, Provide a wonder for yourselves, you shall say to Aaron, Take your staff and cast it down before Pharaoh. It will become a snake. Moses came to Aaron, to Pharaoh, and they did so as Hashem had commanded. Aaron cast down his staff before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a snake. Pharaoh too summoned his wise men and sorcerers, and they too, the necromancers of Egypt, did so with their incantations. Each one cast down his staff, and they became snakes, and the staff of Aaron swallowed their staffs. The heart of Pharaoh was strong, and he did not heed them, as Hashem had spoken. Hashem said to Moses, Pharaoh's heart is stubborn. He has refused to send the people. Go to Pharaoh in the morning. Behold, he goes out to the water, and you shall stand opposite him at the river's bank. And the staff that was turned into a snake you shall take in your hand. You shall say to him, Hashem, the God of the Hebrews, has sent me to you, saying, Send out my people so that they may serve me in the wilderness. But behold, you have not heeded up to now. So says Hashem, Through this shall you know that I am Hashem. Behold, with the staff that is in my hand, I shall strike the waters that are in the river, and they shall change to blood. The fish life that is in the river shall die, and the river shall become foul. Egypt will grow weary of trying to drink water from the river. Hashem said to Moses, Say to Aaron, Take your staff and stretch out your hand over the waters of Egypt, over their rivers, over their canals, over their reservoirs, and over all their gatherings of water, and they shall become blood. There shall be blood throughout the land of Egypt, even in the wooden and stone vessels. Moses and Aaron did so as Hashem had commanded. He held the staff aloft and struck the water that was in the river in the presence of Pharaoh and in the presence of his servants, and all the water that was in the river changed to blood. The fish life that was in the river died, and the river became foul. Egypt could not drink water from the river, and the blood was throughout the land of Egypt. The necromancers of Egypt did the same by means of their incantations, so Pharaoh's heart was strong, and he did not heed them as Hashem had spoken. Pharaoh turned away and came to his palace. He did not take this to heart either. All the Egyptians dug round about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink from the waters of the river. 7 days were completed after Hashem struck the river. Hashem said to Moses, Come to Pharaoh and say to him, So said Hashem, send out my people, that they may serve me. But if you refuse to send out, behold, I shall strike your entire boundary with frogs. The river shall swarm with frogs, and they shall ascend and come into your palace and your bedroom and your bed, and into the house of your servants and of your people, and into your ovens and into your kneading bowls, and into you and your people and all your servants will the frogs ascend. Hashem said to Moses, Say to Aaron, Stretch out your hand with your staff over the rivers, over the canals, and over the reservoirs, and raise up the frogs over the land of Egypt. Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frog infestation ascended and covered the land of Egypt. The necromancers did the same through their incantations, and they brought up the frogs upon the land of Egypt. Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron and said, Entreat Hashem that he remove the frogs from me and my people, and I shall send out the people that they may bring offerings to Hashem. Moses said to Pharaoh, Glorify yourself over me, for when should I entreat for you, for your servants, and for your people, to excise the frogs from you and from your houses? Only in the river shall they remain. And he said, For tomorrow, he said, as you say, so that you will know that there is none like Hashem our God, the frogs will depart from you and your houses and from your servants and from your people. Only in the river shall they remain. Moses and Aaron left Pharaoh's presence. Moses cried out to Hashem concerning the frogs that he had inflicted upon Pharaoh. Hashem carried out the word of Moses, and the frogs died. From the houses, from the courtyards, and from the fields. They piled them up in heaps and heaps, and the land stank. Pharaoh saw that there had been a relief, and kept making his heart stubborn. He did not heed them, as Hashem had spoken. Hashem said to Moses, Say to Aaron, Stretch out your staff and strike the dust of the land. It shall become lice throughout the land of Egypt. So they did. Aaron stretched out his hand with his staff and struck the dust of the land, and the lice infestation was on man and beast. All the dust of the land became lice throughout the land of Egypt. The sorcerers did the same with their incantations to draw forth the lice but they could not, and the lice infestation was on man and beast. The sorcerer said to Pharaoh, "It is a finger of God," but Pharaoh's heart was strong, and he did not heed them, as Hashem had spoken. Hashem said to Moses, "Arise early in the morning and station yourself before Pharaoh. Behold, he goes out to the water, and you shall say to him, So said Hashem, Send out my people, that they may serve me. For if you do not send out my people, behold, I shall incite against you, your servants, your people, and your houses, the swarm of wild beasts, and the houses of Egypt shall be filled with the swarm, and even the ground upon which they are. And on that day I shall set apart the land of Goshen, upon which my people stands, and there shall be no swarm there, so that you will know that I am Hashem in the midst of the land. I shall make a distinction between my people and your people. Tomorrow this sign will come about." Hashem did so, and a severe swarm of wild beasts came to the house of Pharaoh and the house of his servants, and throughout the land of Egypt. The land was being ruined because of the swarm. Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron and said, "Go, bring offerings to your God in the land." Moses said, "It is not proper to do so, for we will offer the deity of Egypt to Hashem our God. Behold, if we were to slaughter the deity of Egypt in their sight, will they not stone us? We will go on a 3-day journey in the wilderness and bring offerings to Hashem our God, as he will tell us." Pharaoh said, "I will send you, and you shall bring offerings to Hashem your God in the wilderness. Only do not go far off. Entreat for me." Moses said, "Behold, I leave you, and I shall entreat Hashem, and the swarm will depart from Pharaoh, for his servants and from his people. Tomorrow, only let Pharaoh not continue to mock by not sending out the people to bring offerings to Hashem." Moses left Pharaoh's presence and entreated Hashem. Hashem did in accordance with Moses' word, and he removed the swarm of wild beasts from Pharaoh and from his servants and from his people. Not one remained, but Pharaoh made his heart stubborn, even this time, and he did not send out the people. Hashem said to Moses, "Come to Pharaoh and speak to me. Come to Pharaoh and speak to him. So said Hashem, the God of the Hebrews, send out my people that they may serve me. For if you refuse to send out and you continue to grip them, behold, the hand of Hashem is on your livestock that are in the very field, on the horses, on the donkeys, on the camels, on the cattle, and on the flock. A very severe epidemic. Hashem shall distinguish between the livestock of Israel and the livestock of Egypt, and not a thing that belongs to the children of Israel will die. Hashem has set an appointed time, saying, Tomorrow Hashem shall carry out this word in the land. Hashem carried out this word the next day, and all the livestock of Egypt died, and of the livestock of the children of Israel not one died. Pharaoh sent, and behold, of the livestock of Israel not even one had died. Yet Pharaoh's heart became stubborn, and he did not send out the people. Hashem said to Moses and Aaron, Take for yourself handfuls of furnace soot, and let Moses hurl it heavenward before Pharaoh's eyes. It will become dust over the entire land of Egypt, and it will become boils erupting into blisters on man and beast throughout the land of Egypt. They took soot of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses threw it heavenward, and it became boils and blisters erupting on man and beast. The necromancers could not stand before Moses because of the boils, because the boils were on the necromancers and on all of Egypt. Hashem strengthened the heart of Pharaoh, and he did not heed them, as Hashem had spoken to Moses. Hashem spoke to Moses, Arise early in the morning and station yourself before Pharaoh. Say to him, So said Hashem, the God of the Hebrews, Send out my people that they may serve me. For this time I shall send all my plagues against your heart and upon your servants and your people, so that you shall know that there is none like me in all the world. For now I could have sent my hand and stricken you and your people with the pestilence, and you would have been obliterated from the earth. However, for this have I let you endure, in order to show you my strength, and so that my name may be declared throughout the world. You still tread upon my people, not to send them out. Behold, at this time tomorrow I shall rain a very heavy hail, such as there has never been in Egypt, from the day it was founded until now. And now gather in your livestock and everything you have in the field, all the people and animals that are found in the field that are not gathered into the house. The hail shall descend upon them, and they shall die. Whomever among the servants of Pharaoh feared the word of Hashem chased his servants and his livestock to the houses. And whomever did not take the word of Hashem to heart, he left his servants and livestock in the field. Hashem said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand toward heaven, and there will be hail in the entire land of Egypt, on man and beast, and on all the grass of the field in the land of Egypt." Moses stretched out his staff toward heaven, and Hashem sent thunder and hail, and fire went earthward, and Hashem rained hail upon the land of Egypt. There was hail and fire flaming amid the hail, very heavy, such as had never been in the entire land of Egypt from the time it became a nation. The hail struck in the entire land of Egypt, everything that was in the field, from man to beast. All the grass of the field the hail struck, and every tree of the field it smashed. Only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel were, there was no hail. Pharaoh sent and summoned Moses and Aaron, and he said to them, "This time I have sinned. Hashem is the righteous one, and I and my people are the wicked ones. Entreat Hashem. There has been an overabundance of godly thunder and hail. I shall send you out, and you shall not continue to remain." Moses said to him, "When I leave the city, I shall spread out my hands to Hashem. The thunder will cease, and the hail will no longer be, so that you shall know that the earth is Hashem's. And as for you and your servants, I know that you are not yet afraid of Hashem, God." The flax and the barley were struck, for the barley was ripe, and the flax was in its stalk, and the wheat and the spelt were not struck, for they ripened later. Moses went out from Pharaoh, from the city, and he stretched out his hands to Hashem. The thunder and hail ceased, and rain did not reach the earth. Pharaoh saw that the rain, the hail, and the thunder ceased, and he continued to sin, and he made his heart stubborn, he and his servants. Pharaoh's heart became strong, and he did not send out the children of Israel as Hashem had spoken through Moses.